Alright, there's a lot of questions about a 2013 or Genesis Coupe, Hyundai Genesis Coupe dash removals. Take all this apart, put gauges in, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do it for you real quick here. This is a 13. I believe the early one's a little bit different, and there's a panel up here I think you got to pull off, and there's a screw in top to get this centerpiece out. This one doesn't have it, so this one's a little bit easier. Interior, people like to use butter knives and stuff. You're supposed to use plastic so you don't mar up that plastic. The softest piece is going to give up, and guess what? That's plastic. So get these panel popper tools. Come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. This one's a little fat for the job, so I like this one a lot of times because it's very wedge shaped, so you can got a point, but you can also fucking use it to you push in like a spacer or chisel, whatever, and it opens up. You got one over here you can fucking pry with. But first thing you're gonna do, this one's manual. If it's automatic, there's a little piece that's would be right here. You gotta pop that off and push it down. Be like a screwdriver or something. Just push it down and let it be able to pull it out of park without turning the fucking ignition on and killing your battery. So if you did that, because it does need to be out of park so you can pull it back. This one, manual, it's in neutral. I'm not worried about pulling the shift knob off. You can do all that yourself. I don't need to do that, but let's go straight down into this, pry that up. It's gonna come up pretty easy. This is what I'm talking about. You can use it to pry up. As you push in, it gets fatter, pops it up for you. Pull it back, throw that back and forth. This thing's out of your way. You're not gonna work down in here for days. It's not a big deal. After that, this piece is just snapped in. So you grab down here at the bottom just like this, and you pull straight back. It starts to come out, kind of wiggle it, and it falls right out, just like that. From there, you can unplug the radio and all the switches and stuff if you need to pull everything out. Not radio, but all the switches and AC and stuff. Just plugs in the back. Undo all those, the gauges, and this whole piece will be able to move out of the way. I'm just replacing one gauge and adding the Snow Performance gauge in there in the center one. And for these factory things, this is just a ring bezel. You will keep this black outer shell, the chrome or whatever piece here is just a trim piece. There's 3 little clips. You can pretty much pick any one of them. This one right here is very visible, easy to see. You go in the back, pick it up, and this will fly out if you don't fucking. I mean, it just sits in there. And fucking, I'll pop it right back in there to show you. That bitch does not take much to get out of there. I mean, fucking, damn, bitch flies out of there. So from there, I want to put that one in. That one's got all the cords, rather than doing that real fast. See if we need here. May need a little bit of shaving around and whatnot. See what we got to do there. Might need to sand down in there a little bit. This one needs to get replaced anyway. Video will end up a little bit longer than expected at first, but this is just a little more extra information for you. I know a lot of you guys out there want to replace gauges and do all kinds of shit back here, change the radio out. If you even can this one, I'm not sure. Should be able to. Come on, get faster. That was the main one holding it, so that's the tight one. What do we have there? Should be able to pull that guy out. And this is not my car, this is a customer's car. So I'm not 100% familiar with this exact car, but we are going to figure this out right here with you. Show you how it's done. So, fucking flashes. So yeah, they definitely had to sand the inner there out to get these gauges in. You may have to do the same thing. That's all part of the custom job there. You want fun shit, you gotta do unfun things. So there's some sand in there to make sure that thing fits nice and snug in there. See that one? That one's very tight to go in. It absolutely will not go in that hole. So you will need a Dremel or sandpaper or something and sand these out. And your factory gauges are not going back in once you do that. He got Pro Sport gauges here, which I don't think are terrible gauges, but probably not the greatest either, which is why he's replacing them. So if you're doing all this, make sure you want aftermarket gauges. Make sure you get some good quality gauges, because you don't want to keep redoing this shit. Or decide you fucking, for some reason, aftermarket gauges suck because you keep buying cheap ones. You want to put stock gauges back in, and you can't. You have to get this whole panel. The whole panel. I guess you could get the backing plate. You can unbolt the backing plate and get somebody else's, and that whole panel would come out of the back of there if you really wanted to do so. It's all very possible there. I wonder if it was mine, if I would actually take that panel off and then just maybe make an actual cup for this thing or something of some sort. It'd be too big for the actual hole, but either way, that's not terrible there. But that's that. Gauge is in your Genesis coupe, just like that. Plug them back in just the way they came out. Apparently we did something there. Maybe a race car. Alright. That guy. I assume usually the gauge sizes are pretty standard wise, so yeah. We'll have to sand that out for the snow performance gauge. Snow performance, meth injection, water injection, what do you want to call it? Water meth injection. That's what he's doing on his 2-liter turbo. I don't know. Not something I'd be doing on a street car because I don't know, something I have to refill. But that's how you do that. When you go to put it back in, you just pop it all right back in place. Like it came out, push it in, make sure there's a seat in nice and well. The front goes in first here. Pop that forward, and then if you need to, just tap it down. It should push in pretty well. That'll be all of that. Hopefully this video helps. Make sure I would definitely tell you to get some kind of panel popper tool instead of using butter knives and screwdrivers and all kinds of stuff and marring up your interior. As you can see, pull this apart. There's other than scratches he probably had on there doing it before. It looks like he used something pretty hard to do these gauges the first time. These will not do that. So use the proper tools, do it right, keep your shit nice. Hopefully this video helps.